my god, babe, what happened?
Well, I streamed Changes by Justin Bieber one too many times. Hey, come closer. Come closer. Don't stream it, kids. You'll end up just like me.
Hey there, concerned neighbor. I'm back from the dead and better than ever to review Changes, the first album in almost 5 years from pop sensation Justin Bieber. Becoming ultra hella famous at such a young age is more traumatizing than most of us could ever comprehend. It stunts your growth, everyone tells you you're the best thing ever, and of course you're gonna grow an ego when those around you make you think you deserve the world. That doesn't at all excuse his actions, and I do think that he's desperately needed some time away to truly reflect on the damage that he's done, not only to the world at large, but to himself. The dude is clearly hurting, but also seems to lash out irrationally at the drop of a hat. I really can't get a beat on him, but I do know that he's made himself pretty unlikable. Music is an escape though, and I really enjoyed a good bite-sized portion of 2015's album Purpose, so I had hoped that some time away would benefit the troubled singer. The question is, did he actually take time away? I'm not even sure, with all of those phoned-in guest spots clearly done for a payday, but somehow I still went into Changes with modest expectations, despite the catastrophic cringe that was Yummy. Jesus, Biebs, you really wanted to put our patience up against the ropes, didn't ya? Excusing the digital-only bonus track, the Yummy remix with Summer Walker, which I won't be covering because you couldn't fucking pay me to cry through that wall of pain again, we've got about 48 minutes of material that simply exists. It's there, it's an album, it's R&B, R&B-burr, I guess. Good for him. You always wanted to make music in this style. It's been your dream. You wanted to do a follow-up to Journals. Cool. But I have to check your intentions at the door when the music you're spewing out has about as much personality to it as the faded lava rocks sitting out in front of my house. Justin's biggest mistake when making this album was forgetting to include anything at all that would make this sound distinguishable from all of the other artists in the R&B or trap scene. Sure, he lets his ever-graceful voice shine in some of the bright spots, and the album isn't what I would call unlistenable. It's just a repeated pattern of dime a dozen beats, recycled lyrical cliches, and whining about how he needs his wife to be there at all times, even when she's 5 minutes down the street. He's asking her to drop a fucking pin so he can know her location. Do I believe that Bieber believes in the songs that he's created? Yes, sadly, I do. I say that because he's surrounded by yes men that will suck off his ideas at any given chance in the hopes of benefiting their own career. And don't tell me that he's not surrounded by yes men. In a perfect world, Yummy would have never seen the light of day. Changes had the hard task of following up Purpose, an album that boasts some fantastic tropical pop jams from the lush Sorry to the criminally overlooked Company, which is still his best song he's ever released. Pressure was mounting, and I can recognize his pain as a human being, but I can also recognize my own suffering after 4 sleep-inducing listens of his latest album. Pooh Bear produced almost everything you hear, which, hey, they keep it consistent, so for some, that might do the trick. But does anyone feel me when I just say that it feels like these songs end, and that's it? They just ended. I swear the album ended for the first 3 times, and I had no idea that it was over because of how eerily similar the songs are. No variety, little in the way of catchy hooks, although there certainly are a few, and worst of all, the amount of filler content that clearly exists just to pad the track list and gain some extra streams for the charts, which Justin is clearly too obsessed with. How is it that an album that took 5 years to make still feels rushed? It's because it was assembled with very little TLC. My boy JB was out here saying last year that he retired or was going on hiatus or some shit. Now we've got a full album? I really don't feel like going through most of these, but I'll point out a few of the highs before dragging you down into a state of purgatory with me. Come Around Me is easily my favorite song on the album. Sure, it's a clinger's anthem, but the mellow skittering beat lines up perfectly with Justin's slightly understated vocal for a smashing chorus that honestly really does get stuck in my head, and I can't even get mad at it. Fellow R&B artist Kalani features on Get Me, and outside of the annoying jest of the ha ha ha, you get me, that borrows far too heavily from other artists that came before him, I'm okay with this mood. The turntable scratches actually make it feel a little bit more distinct, and I still wouldn't go foaming at the mouth over this one, but it's certainly not terrible. Okay, I guess that's pretty much where that train stops with a positive commentary. Yikes. Whether it's Justin desperately needing to know where his wife is on E.T.A. or guilt-tripping her for not making him the constant #1 priority, one thing is clear. He's gonna get memed all 2020 long for the excess wifey love just like Chance the Rapper did in 2019. The man calls himself a psychiatrist on the woeful Take It Out on Me, gets fake deep on the title track by saying he's going through changes, but that don't mean he's changed, pretends to know what love is on the incredibly misguided Bombshell, That's What Love Is, and even throws a few more cringe lines about getting litty on tracks like Second Emotion with Travis Scott. It's really just a masterclass in what not to do for a comeback album, or better yet, for a blockbuster release in general. Give me My World 2.0 over this any day. At least with that teeny bopper of an outing, I could have a decent laugh at how over the top and gimmicky it is, but no one's laughing at this one, especially not at Lil Dicky's nosedive attempt at comedy on Running Over. Changes is the musical equivalent of putting your phone in airplane mode, so unless you're trying to knock yourself out for a long flight overseas, don't even bother. Justin Bieber's 5th studio album gets hit with a turbulent 1.5 out of 5. Check the description down below for my favorites, least favorites, and all that other good stuff. Feeling generous? Slap a like on the video and tell me you love me in the comments. Or if you want to take this relationship to the next level, donate to my Patreon so I can make more videos about music on both of my channels. Oh god, I'm sounding needier than Bieber did on this album. Forget it, just follow my socials if you want to stay up to date, hit up my IG if you want to see song suggestions in my story, and I'll see you soon for more on ARTV.